"Perhaps I could swoop over their heads and take the pelita," said Elisha in a low voice. "The goblin will grab you before you could fly away," said Rachel. "They are super quick. It is too risky. What if the goblins were dizzy?" Kirsty suggested. "They would be too wobbly to stop us." "But how can we make them dizzy?" Alicia asked. Kirsty crossed her fingers. "I've got an idea," she said. "I just hope it works. Alicia, can you turn Rachel and me into dance teachers?" Alicia looked puzzled, but there was no time to ask questions. Jack Frost was getting closer. She waved her wand, and their dressing gowns and wings vanished. Each of them were wearing a leotard, a long black skirt, and a pair of high-heeled shoes. "You do not look like you," said Rachel, rubbing her eyes. "It's as if I can't quite see your face. Every time I try to look at you, it's a blur." "Same here," said Kirsty. "It's a special spell," said Alicia, smiling. "But it won't last long. Hurry." Rachel and Kirsty darted into the moonlight. The first goblin let out a squeal of surprise. "Who are you?" he cried. "We are here to teach you how to dance," Kirsty exclaimed. "It's a new part of the Frosty plans. Everyone here has to learn it." Without giving the goblin time to think, she whirled him into a dance, spinning, hopping, and skipping around the feasting table. "You too," said Rachel, taking the second goblin's hand. "But I don't like dancing," the goblin wailed. "My feet aren't made of it. It makes me feel sick." "Shut up," the first goblin snapped, panting. "If Jack Frost says we have to learn a dance, and that is what we have to do." "Goody two-shoes," the second goblin yelled. Round and round they danced. Faster and faster the goblin kept shouting insults at each other, and Jack Frost was getting closer and closer. Kirsty glanced at Rachel and saw her black outfit was turning into a soft, fluffy dressing gown. The spell was fading. "Final twirl," Kirsty exclaimed. "Big finish." She and Rachel sent the goblins into one last huge twirl and let them go. They whizzed around the table like two large green spinning tops, and Elisha zoomed out from behind the bush. She plucked the hat from the second goblin's head, lifted the lamp, and replaced the hat. The goblin didn't even notice. "Hide!" she cried. Panting and dizzy, Rachel and Kirsty flung themselves back behind the bush with Elisha. The spell had worn off, and they were fairies again. At the same moment, Jack Frost strode around the corner. The spinning goblins crashed into him, and they fell down like skittles. "You idiots," Jack Frost yelled. "Nincompoops, mushroom heads." Stifling their laughter, the fairies shared a happy hug. The pelita lamp glowed in Alicia's hands. "It's beautiful," said Rachel, running her finger over the delicate carvings. "And it's back where it belongs, thanks to you two," said Elisha. "How can I ever thank you? Knowing that it will be a happy festival is all the thanks we need," said Kirsty, smiling at her. "Now that there is only one magical object left to find." At that moment, Jack Frost let out a yell of rage. "What do you mean it's gone?" "I think it's time for us to leave," said Elisha. "I must return to Festival Island, and you need to get back to your beds. Eid Mubarak, Rachel and Trusty. Eid Mubarak to you too, they replied. Elisha waved her wand above them, and they were sprinkled with fairy dust. Some went into their magical lockets, and some landed on their eyelids. They both started to yawn. "Oh my goodness, I'm so sleepy all of a sudden," said Rachel. She snuggled deeper into her dressing gown and closed her eyes. Her head rested on something soft and cozy. Rachel forced her tired eyes to flicker open and gasp. She was lying in her own bed in Tippington, and she was a human again. The crescent moon was shining in through her open curtains. Rachel smiled and let her eyes close. She knew that a few miles away in Weatherbury, her best friend was doing exactly the same thing. "Good night, Trusty," she murmured, yawning. "I cannot wait to see you again soon. Eid Mubarak and sweet dreams."